Dwarves are one of the most well-known and enduring fae-like beings in mythology and folklore, particularly in Germanic, Norse, and later European traditions. Unlike the tiny, winged fairies of later stories, dwarves are stout, strong, and deeply connected to the earth. They are master craftsmen, skilled warriors, and secretive dwellers of the deep places of the world. Their legends stretch back to some of the oldest recorded myths and continue to influence modern fantasy to this day. The origins of dwarves can be traced to Norse mythology, where they were known as the dvergar. According to the Poetic Edda and Prose Edda, dwarves were born from the flesh of the primordial giant Ymir. When the gods Odin, Vili, and Vili slew Ymir and created the world from his body, the dwarves emerged from his decaying flesh and bones, taking refuge underground. Because of this, they were always associated with the deep places of the earth, caves, mountains, and mines, where they thrived as blacksmiths, jewelers, and magical artisans. Dwarves were renowned for their craftsmanship. Some of the greatest treasures in Norse mythology were forged by dwarven hands, including Mjolnir, the mighty hammer of Thor, which was created by the dwarf brothers Bråkr and Sindri. They also forged Draupnir, Odin's golden ring that produced new rings every 9 nights, and Gungnir, the perfect spear that never missed its mark. In many myths, dwarves were both helpful and dangerous. If treated with respect, they could grant powerful gifts, but if deceived or insulted, they were quick to curse those who wronged them. One of the most famous dwarf-related tales comes from the Volsunga saga, where the dragon Fafnir was once a dwarf. He killed his father over a treasure hoard and was eventually transformed into a dragon, guarding his stolen wealth. This story reflects a recurring theme in dwarf folklore: their deep connection to gold and riches. Dwarves were often depicted as hoarders of treasure, whether earned or stolen, and their obsession with wealth could lead to their downfall. As legends spread across Europe, dwarves evolved in folklore. In Germanic tales, they were sometimes seen as more trickster-like, using their magical skills to craft enchanted items or playing pranks on humans. In the Brothers Grimm stories, dwarves took on a slightly different role, often living in the woods or mountains and occasionally interacting with humans, as seen in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Dwarves are also linked to the concept of underground kingdoms. Many legends describe vast hidden cities of dwarves, filled with forges, glittering gemstones, and weapons of great power. They were said to be excellent miners, able to sense veins of gold and silver deep in the earth, making them both feared and respected by those who sought their wealth. Some myths even suggest that they possessed the ability to turn to stone in sunlight, a trait later borrowed in stories about trolls. Over time, dwarves found their place in modern fantasy, particularly through the works of J.R.R. Tolkien. In The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, Tolkien's dwarves embody much of their mythological roots. Proud, gold-loving, skilled in battle, and tied to great underground halls like Erebor and Moria. His depiction influenced nearly every fantasy setting that followed, cementing the image of dwarves as gruff, bearded warriors with a deep love for craftsmanship and a stubborn sense of honor. Ultimately, dwarves represent the enduring power of the earth, the weight of tradition, and the mastery of craft. They are beings of stone and metal, both feared and admired, capable of great generosity or terrible greed. Their legends remind us that skill, patience, and resilience can shape the world, but that obsession with wealth can lead even the mightiest into ruin.